So I'm sitting here at the end of the, I guess the loop, as at least as far as it goes now, because it's closed off right here. That's beyond. That's where the road collapsed. So they've been working on it for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, I'm sure. So you have to turn around here and go back. So that's what I'm going to do. But this area actually is where the original entrance to the Theodore Roosevelt National Park was. It was down this way. I'm sorry about the other people sitting out here. I'm not sure what they're doing. But if you hike down that way, there's the original building. It's like back there. You can't see it. But that's where I'm at right now. I'm just north, or I guess south of where I saw those 3 horses. But I thought I'd talk about, show the equipment, the camera stuff that I've been using. Probably about 5 years ago, I've had Nikon for quite a while, but I switched from their F system to their Z system. And I don't know if anybody's really familiar with cameras or really cares, but these are the Z bodies, which they have a little bit wider flange on them where the lens connects, so they get a little bit. I think it improves the image quality. I'm not really sure on the reasoning why, but so anyway, I switched over to the Z system about 5 years ago, and I've been really happy with it. And so I've been kind of collecting lenses that I can use out here. This is the main place I come out and shoot stuff with my camera. But so I've got 2 bodies right now and quite a few lenses, but these are the ones that I bring out here. So the 2 bodies that I have this is the Z9 and that's the ZF. And the reason I like to have 2, just so I don't always switch in lenses, because between these 2 lenses, it covers most of what I shoot out here. This is a 70 to 200 2.8, and this is a newer one they just came out with, I think last year. It's a 180 to 600. So where this one leaves off is where this one picks up. So I can go from 70 to 600 millimeters with just these 2 lenses. And so I bought this. This is actually kind of like a airline checked luggage style or size of bag, and I got this just so that I could sit it on my front seat and drive around out here and have both these lenses kind of sitting here with the bodies attached to them, and so I can easily just lift them out of here and shoot whatever. So basically, if this lens isn't long enough, this one is. And then I've also got a couple teleconverters, so I can throw like a 1.4 teleconverter. I've got 2 of them, so I can put one on each of these lenses. So that gets this one, makes it like basically 100 to 300 millimeter lens. And then this one with the teleconverter would be like 250 to 840. So if I really want, I can do that as well. And then I've got a few other, what they call prime lenses. I've got a 135 1.8 sitting there, which most people wouldn't use for wildlife because it's not long enough. But I use it just because most of what I shoot out here is horses and bison, and you can actually get fairly close to them. So that I was actually using that on the horses. So you can use it and it's perfectly fine for wildlife. And then that one there is a 400 millimeter lens, 400 4.5. I use that probably about as much as I use the 70 to 200. I sometimes just switch off between those 2, but right now I don't have it on here. But I can use teleconverters on that. I can make it a 540 millimeter lens, or if I put a 2x teleconverter, it can be an 800 millimeter lens. So that's kind of why I have that one, so I can get up to 800 millimeters with a nice prime lens. And then I don't use really a whole lot out here in the wildlife that's wider than 70 millimeters, but I bring that 35 to 150 along just in case I want to go a little wider. And I've actually got another bag down here with just some miscellaneous stuff in it. That's where I have my teleconverters and stuff and a few little prime lenses, but I never really use them. But I also have a 14 to 30 millimeter lens just in case I want to get something like really wide. So basically between what's in that bag and what's in this bag, I can go from 14 millimeters all the way up to 840, I think I said, with the teleconverter on that one. Or actually, if I put the 2x teleconverter, I can get up to 1200 millimeters, but I really don't have the need for that out here. Sometimes I don't use them at all. Today I've got it on this one, so I'm basically shooting a 100 to 300 millimeter right now with that one, and then 180 to 600 with this one. That's kind of what I've been doing today. I had it on for a while, or I didn't have it on for a while, and then I put it on. So it's just kind of like, I like the flexibility of being able to, have whatever focal length I need. So between these about 4 or 5 lenses here and a couple teleconverters, I pretty well set for anything I'd come across out here, whether it's wide angle or shooting in pretty close. But I try not to use the teleconverters a whole lot. They do degrade the image quality slightly, but I don't know. I usually don't see it too much, so I'm okay with using them. But I just try to use them sparingly, I guess. But not saying I won't use them, but if I don't need them, I won't usually put them on. But I was just kind of trying it out on this one because I had this lens for a while, and then I sold it, and then I decided actually I really kind of do want that lens again, so I bought it again. So I just got it back a couple months ago and just was kind of trying it out with the teleconverter again to see what kind of quality it is. But that's what I shoot with out here. And these things here, this is actually a mount for your tripod. I don't really ever use a tripod, but it came with the lens foot like that, and then I just added this like rail to it to make it more of a handle, because this thing's kind of heavy, and that's how I like to carry it, just like that. I pick it up and carry it like that, so it's kind of a handle. I got one on here too, which is kind of nice, and that one actually will fit on this lens here, so I can flip-flop it if I want it. These lenses aren't that heavy, but I just got it just kind of for the heck of it. By the time you put a body on, this one's a little bit heavier, so I might flop it over to that one. It doesn't take much to flop it over, but those are the main 2 lenses that I really use out here, and that one. And then kind of depends on, like that 135, just depends on how close I am to a subject. I have an 85 too, but I don't really bring it out here a whole lot, even though it's pretty good too for wildlife if you can get fairly close to it. Most people would never use it as a wildlife lens, but I do, just because what I shoot out here I can get close to. Most people, like, maybe they shoot birds or whatever, you'd never get close enough with an 85 or a 135 lens. But seeing as the wildlife out here is on the bigger side, I can get away with it. But again, mostly what I use is these 2 lenses here and that one there, the 400 millimeter. The rest is just kind of like, if I can get close enough to something, I'll use maybe even that one. I don't use that one too much out here, but I could. It's mainly probably these 4, I'd say, but especially those 3 right there. And I might get another body at some point in time, and just so I don't ever have to flop out lenses hardly, if I just mainly use those 3. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but we'll see. But that's my gear, if anybody is interested in that. And again, there's another bag on the floor. I usually bring along this bag for sure, and then if I feel like throwing a few other things in, I'll just toss it in an extra bag, which is what that is down there on the floor. It's just an extra bag with a few things in it that I brought along just for the heck of it.